thank you very much for joining us. I'm not sure if you're aware, but your next start for Arsenal will be your 100th start for Arsenal.
Oh, really?
Were you aware of this?
I've hit 100 appearances already, I think, in, I guess in all competitions, but that's quite a special stat right there. I didn't know.
Yeah, and I suppose, does it mean more, do you think? Because it's your team. It's the team you supported since actually before you can remember.
Yeah, I mean, I think lucky is probably one way of putting it. On a daily basis, being able to play for my childhood club, where I can give, I think, an extra 10% more than the average player. To hit 100 appearances, you don't really dream of these moments, I think. And to say that my 100th appearance probably means more or less than any other would be a lie, because I think I cherish every single game that I play for this club, and yeah, no less than a big London derby like playing Chelsea.
Do you remember start one?
I do remember start one. It was against Watford, 16. I think I came in for she wasn't injured. Casey Stoney was my counterpart, but she was in the stands, and I actually remember playing that game and looking up to her in the stands, thinking, "Oh, I wonder what she's thinking of how I'm playing today."
And did you ever ask her?
No, I didn't. But I think a nod of approval was all I needed, and I'm pretty sure I got that.
That must have been crazy at 16. I was looking at even at the goal scorers in that game. Rachel Yankee got a goal. Leah Williamson got a goal. I think Chloe Kelly got one as well. So thrown in at 16 with for Arsenal.
Yeah,
with all those big names.
You say that, but the environment that was created back then, and I'm pretty sure it's created today, is one of the highest sort of support and welcoming feelings ever that I've ever experienced actually in football. So yeah, you say Rachel Yankee, you say Chloe Kelly, Leah, these are all players that, yeah, they're at the top of their game, but they're also wonderful humans, and the way they were able to create an environment that allowed you to play to your abilities was remarkable, and even as a 16-year-old, I felt that.
But I always think, like, watching any young person who, we all wanted to be footballers.
Yeah.
So few of us get to do it. So what is that moment like where you had the dream and you're actually, you're actually living it out? So what is that like?
I think it's tough because you live it every day. It becomes so normal for you. It then takes conversations like today even, where you then have to shake yourself and be like, wait, this is what I'm here for, this is a dream, but it's something that I'm doing every day, so I need to give it my all and need to sort of do myself justice for all the days that I've put into this moment. So yeah, you using the word dream sounds like this mystical, magical thing, but this is reality. I live it every day, and I make it more than a dream, I think.
So I want to go into some of the details in your current form in a bit, but just staying with that kind of nostalgia, if you like. Favourite moment?
Beating Chelsea last year at the Emirates. Let's hope for another one like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a well-timed favourite moment.
It is a well-timed favourite moment.
99 starts for Arsenal so far, but 49 of them have come in the last 18 months, almost in a bit of a rush. So what's changed, or maybe what's clicked?
I mean, I guess those 49 starts, when you look at that stat, it seems like it's all come overnight. As a player, you've built on this days and days, years, and that hard work ultimately culminates into a run of games where you're able to take the opportunity, and you've had the respect and the confidence instilled in you from the coach.
And what were the things you looked at and thought, these are the things I'd like to do better?
Start attacks from the back line and let our strikers run free and score the goals that we need to win games.
So can you give us a bit more insight into that? It might be quite tricky to do, but how do you go about analysing your own game? What do you look at, and then how do you look at using that and improving on it?
I think for me specifically, I watch my clips. I watch them in slow motion so that you can see the context around the moment. A lot of that is then tactical, and that fits in.
So everything you've done within a football match?
Everything I've done
in slow motion, every single thing?
Yeah, and I try to watch it the night after the game to allow me to sleep best, because if I get into bed, I'm wired. Everyone's different, and for me personally, being able to look at those small moments, they're incremental gains that you can make, and that ultimately can change momentum in a game, or even better, can be what leads up to a goal, and for me personally is what gives me the most joy.
You're going to be a football manager one day, aren't you? It just sounds. Honestly, I don't think I've ever just asked someone that so directly, but it's just you just sound like one.
I'm going to be burnt out by the time it gets to that. By the sound of me now, I don't think I'll be a manager. I think I want to put all my energy into being a player.
Have you got thoughts on what you want to do when you do start?
I think it's interesting you say that, and I'm glad we're having this conversation because a lot of the time when people think of Lotte Wubben-Moy, they think of someone off the pitch. I invest heavily into my community. I'm a Gooner, lifelong Gooner, and I believe in playing a role within the community through Arsenal and using football as a means to bridge gaps, to enhance lifestyles, to share joy.
So I watched some of your clips yesterday as well, and it was really striking from the Manchester United game, just how front foot, how aggressive you were with your defending. When you're talking about adding stuff, is that something you've added, or do you feel more like actually that's something that's always been there?
I think looking at the women's game in general, it's quite reflective of that, how front-footed football is becoming. Exciting for fans, super exciting for fans, but ultimately for us as a team, that being a key foundation to winning games, being aggressive, being able to sort of suffocate the teams, knowing that we play a lot of low block teams. If my position is super high underneath the fullback, allowing our sixes to stay central, the team aren't going to be able to get out. If we lose the ball, we've got 4 players around the ball that can pick up, regain quick, find that little pass inside, recycle, switch it to the other side. I can play short, long balls. My sort of toolkit is suited for playing low block teams, but also likewise setting up attacks and being aggressive in that sense too.
One stat I saw with you, most passes into the final third of any player, not just Arsenal, any player in the WSL. So is that another sort of string you've added to your bow, or again, do you feel like that's actually something that's always been there?
It's definitely something that I've felt empowered to be able to do on a more weekly basis. The teams we play, like I've said, we play a lot of low block teams. So my role in the team is both being able to get the ball to our strikers as quick as possible, and that comes by ensuring that the team aren't already in the low block before we get there. So that's an element of our game, the transition. We score a lot of goals on the transition that I can help with. They don't necessarily expect a centre-back to be making those passes.
Starting place with Arsenal. Next stop, England?
We'll see. I was happy to get a goal in my most recent game for England, a start that doesn't come around too often. I think I've been patient in waiting for that moment, and I guess it's a credit to the performances that I've been putting in with Arsenal and playing week in, week out. That's what the manager wants, and I've been doing that.
Do you feel like, personally, your great season needs a team prize at the end of it, just to top it off?
I mean, if this is one big machine, I'm only one cog in it, and there's been so many other wonderful, I think, performances and team camaraderie moments that have contributed to this season as a whole. I'd love to win the league, and I'd love to know that I've been able to contribute to that, I'm not egotistical, so it's not about me, it's about what we do together.
Thank you very much for your time.